Students, today I am going to discuss about thyroid and parathyroid hormones on bodily functions. Thyroid gland, all vertebrates have thyroid gland. In case of a human, thyroid gland is located in the neck region, just on the trachea, just below the larynx. You will find the larynx, just below the larynx you can see a butterfly like this is what you can see, the thyroid gland. It is connected, there are the lateral lobes, these are connected by the portion, this is called isthmus. So this weighs about 25 to 40 grams. So this gland produces two hormones, thyroxine that will circulate in two forms, T4 and T3 forms. Another hormone is calcitonin. So this calcitonin involved in calcium and phosphorus metabolism, whereas thyroxine is the hormone of metabolism. It regulates the all types of metabolism. So thyroid is composed of spherical follicles. If you see the histology, if you observe under microscope, you can see it is there are rounded follicles, you can see like this. So they are lined with the cuboidal epithelial cells. They actually produces the inactive thyroxine in the form of thyroglobulin. So these follicle cells, they produce inactive thyroxine in the form of a it is called thyroglobulin. It's a colloidal substance get filled in the lumen of this follicle. So this you can see the in between there are some cells, you can see they are called parafollicular cells. These parafollicular cells are called C cells. They produce the hormone calcitonin or else thyrocalcitonin. As I said, there are two hormones secreted in the thyroid. The main one is the thyroxine, and another one is it is about TCT or thyrocalcitonin. So thyroid gland, already it is regulated by pituitary and hypothalamus. So you have studied already the role of hypothalamus in regulating the endocrine glands through pituitary. So this hypothalamus is secreting TRH, the thyroid stimulating releasing hormone, TRH, and in response to that the pituitary is secreting the hormone TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. This thyroid stimulating hormone is responsible for the growth and the functioning of the thyroid gland. So the thyroid responds to these hormones, and the thyroxine level will be maintained or regulated through negative feedback, what you have studied in the last class. So the level of T3 and T4 in the blood, that will bring it stops the release of TSH and TRH. Their low level stimulates the TRH to get released then by the TSH. Thereby the thyroid is get stimulated. So this is what negative feedback you have studied in the last class. So thyroid gland is regulated by hypothalamus and the pituitary. Thyroid follicles secrete inactive thyroxine, that is called thyroglobulin. This thyroglobulin combines with the inorganic iodine. So iodine, that is supplemented, or it is from the diet, that is taken from the diet. We are not producing iodine in our body. So the iodine is through diet, it is supplied. It will be absorbed, and it will be this thyroglobulin combines with the iodine to give rise to thyroxine. If it is combined with the one iodine, then it is monoiodothyronine. If it is 2, diiodothyronine, and if it is 3, that is the T3, triiodothyronine, and if it is 4, the tetraiodothyronine. So active thyroxine in the form of T3 and T4, 3 iodine or 4 iodine combined to the thyroglobulin, it is forming the active thyroxine. So the whole process of this the addition of iodine to the thyroglobulin, all these are regulated by the pituitary through thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH, and indirectly by the hypothalamus, that is TRH. So what are the functions of this T3 and T4 active thyroxine? So it is a metabolic hormone, brings all types of metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism, protein metabolism, fat metabolism in the body will be regulated through this thyroxine. So calorigenesis means increased uptake of oxygen and heat production, bring thermogenesis in the homeotherms. So it is you can see the whatever you can see the homeotherms, they maintain constant temperature in their body. So this the heat production, it is through metabolism. So this is under the regulation of the thyroxine. Then it increases the basal metabolic rate. So the basal metabolic rate is the rate at which the body uses oxygen to transform the nutrients. There is a oxidation or metabolism, or else you can see the oxidation of the glucose, fat metabolism, protein metabolism, all these to release energy, or that is what we are using, that energy, and also for heat generation. So that is regulated through thyroxine. Thyroxine not only for metabolism, it is also involved in protein synthesis. It is very essential for the normal growth of the body and differentiation of the cells, especially the differentiation of bone and the hair. So it is also important for the metamorphosis of amphioxus. You have studied the role of thyroxine in a metamorphosis of amphibia in your second semester. Thyroxine controls the metabolic rate of skeletal muscles, liver and kidney. So it is that's why it is a metabolic hormone, and these the muscles, liver and kidney, it is you can say active these organs having the active cells, lot of energy is required, so that you can see the metabolic rate is high in these cells, in these organs. It also regulates the functions of adrenal cortex and the gonads, the sex organs, the testis and the ovary function, adrenal cortex function under the thyroxine, under the influence of the thyroxine. It is also for the neuronal maturation, the nerve cell maturation, and also normal excitability, normal functioning of the neurons, and also cardiac muscles under the influence of thyroxine. So what happens when there is a hypothyroidism? It is the common phenomenon nowadays. You may so many of are suffering in your family also. Some are be having this phenomena, hypothyroidism, decreased the secretion of thyroxine. So that's what happens when it is in the very young stage, during in the stage of children, it leading to the cretinism. So if the hypothyroidism, it occurs in the childhood, it is leading to improper growth, and it is called the child is called cretin. Cretin means the child is sexually immature and dwarf and poor physical and mental development. So it is different from dwarfism. In the dwarfism, only the person is short, but mentally he is proper, or he or she, or so the person is proper in mental health and other activities of the body. Only the thing, short stature. But here in the hypothyroidism, low secretion of thyroxine during childhood, it is bringing the image, the abnormal or else improper physical and mental growth or development, and also immature sexually the child. So this is what cretin, this child is called cretin. In case of adult, the hypothyroidism or low secretion of thyroxine leading to the myxedema. It is called Gall's disease. So this is the loss of memory, puffy skin, dry skin, mentally dull condition, inactiveness, lethargy, and all this will happen because it is the importance of thyroxine. So when the thyroxine level goes down, the person feels fatigue, he cannot do the work properly because the energy production is low in his or her body. So these are the symptoms you will find. So in the you will current day, so it is the common phenomena. 2% of the population, they suffer from hypothyroidism. So even it is 10 times more pronounced in the case of the women. They are more prone for hypothyroidism. So if hypothyroidism is due to iodine deficiency, so the proper amount of thyroglobulin is secreted. Only in the diet the iodine supplement is not adequate, then it is the abnormal enlargement of the gland, what you see here, and so that the swelling occurs in the neck region. So this is called the goiter condition. So this can be avoided or prevented by keeping proper amount of iodine in the diet. Iodine, usually the salt what we are using for cooking, we have to see that it is iodized one. So that take care, because per day it is the iodine requirement for the proper amount of T3, T4 in the blood. It is about 150 milligram. So 150 microgram. So that much of iodine is there in whatever what you use, the iodized salt. It is more in fish and milk products, dairy products, then also in spinach and some green leafy vegetables, they are rich in iodine. So we have to take care of the supplement our body with the proper iodine through diet, so that we can avoid this condition. Then what happens when there is a increased secretion of thyroxine, hypersecretion. So hypersecretion of TSH, already you studied, leading to hypersecretion of the thyroxine. It is called Graves' disease or exophthalmic goiter. In hyperthyroidism, all the symptoms what you have seen in the hypothyroidism, it is the opposite one. You can see the person is restless, is full of energy, and increased metabolic rate, high blood pressure, increased heart rate, high amount of heat production. Person is emotionally unstable, irritable, there is a protrusion of eyeballs resulting with the the redness in the eyes, and that is called exophthalmic goiter. So this is hyperthyroidism. How one can detect hypothyroidism? So it is whenever there are these symptoms, one has to go to the physician. Physician will ask you to have a blood test. Blood test will be conducted for all these T3, T4, TSH and TRH. Then the doctor or physician will know what is the condition of the thyroid functioning in your body. According to that, they will advise you if it is a hypothyroidism, the synthetic thyroxine, or so if it is due to iodine, you can take care of your diet. You can so all these so this can be rectified. Then thyroid gland is also secreting another hormone, thyrocalcitonin. So this thyrocalcitonin is a polypeptide that regulates the calcium and phosphate metabolism and bone calcification. Bone will strengthened by absorbing calcium. It is called calcification. So these are secreted in the parafollicular cells, what you see, and they are called C cells. And then when blood calcium levels are the high, it is induces the calcification. So the bone will take more calcium from the blood. Calcitonin lowers the blood calcium, thereby whenever the high amount of calcium in the blood, the calcium is absorbed through the bones, or else the calcium is secreted. That means the kidney tubules they secrete this calcium, they release this calcium into the urine and get excreted out, so that the calcium level will be maintained normal level. So TCT maintain calcium homeostasis in the blood along with another hormone, it is the parathyroid hormone, it is called PTH or Parth hormone. So parathyroid is present in the back side. Just you will find a small globular, 4 globular structure in the back side of this thyroid is called parathyroid gland. So these parathyroid gland are having cells, oxyphils and chief cells. The chief cells, they secrete a hormone, it is a protein hormone called parathyroid hormone, or else it is called Parth hormone, a small protein hormone. This hormone secreted by this gland, it is the Parth hormone or else PTH. PTH functions opposite to TCT or Thyrocalcitonin. So the PTH regulates the normal level of calcium in the blood and the body fluid. So PTH increases the blood calcium. Whenever there is a low calcium in the blood calcium will be increased in the by the action of the PTH secreted, and it increases the blood calcium level. It stimulates the release of calcium from the bone, decalcification. Then it increases the secretion of calcium, decreases the secretion. So it stops the excretion of calcium through the kidney. It activates vitamin D synthesis, which stimulates the uptake of calcium from the intestine. So all this thereby it increases the calcium level. Calcium is very important. It is the one important it is a second messenger. So lot of functions, the calcium, it is important for blood coagulation, it is important for the muscle contraction, so many functions. So the calcium level has to, similar to the glucose level in the blood, calcium level has to be maintained properly in the blood. It is maintained by the jointly by the TCT and PTH. TCT by the thyroid and PTH by the parathyroid. PTH Parth hormone, TCT calcitonin. When there is this is the balanced level, so it is about it is about 10 to 17 mg of calcium per 100 ml. When there is a rise in the calcium level, if it is increased calcium, so immediately thyroid secrete this TCT or calcitonin. It makes the bone to absorb more calcium. It induces kidney to excrete more calcium. So it is called calcification. Bone absorbs more calcium. When there is a decrease in calcium level below 10 mg per 100 ml of blood, immediately this parathyroid will secrete Parth hormone. The Parth hormone increases the calcium in the blood by decalcification, release the osteoclast, they release calcium to the blood, and also it is the kidney cells, they stop excreting the calcium, and intestine absorb more calcium, thereby it maintains the balance. So this is how the homeostasis of calcium ions takes place in the body. So this is about the thyroid gland and parathyroid gland. Thank you.